Hello everyone, hopefully you can see and hear me. That's always the goal. And welcome to Helpful Goat Presents Beak, Feather, and Bash, a birthday-themed hack of Beak, Feather, and Bone, designed by Tyler Crumine, who you can see... Nope, pointing the wrong way. And I don't have enough room that way, up there, in the corner. My name is Galway Trainer, and I'm the programming director and one of the founders of Helpful Goat Gaming, a small independent game design and game content creation community. Today we are celebrating kind of a point that is in the middle of the Venn diagram of multiple birthdays. Shortly, a few days ago, we had the 1-year anniversary of our starting to play Dom and Dragons, D&D with Dominic Monaghan. Monday will be the 2-year anniversary of the Goats and Dragons podcast starting up. And then in a little bit in May, we will have the 3-year anniversary of us starting to play Goats and Dragons generally. Thank you so much, Chelsea. I see the poem and I will read it off once I get through the announcements, and I will not forget this time. There will not be as much chaos. I'm lying to myself. Before I get to introductions and read the poem and turn things over, a couple of quick announcements. As I mentioned, we're Helpful Goat Gaming. You can use !Discord to get a link to join our Discord and join the sort of hub of our community. If you are interested in following along, getting notified, you can use !HG-info. That'll get you links to all of our socials, and also gets you links to sort of a variety of other stuff, our website, the Discord, etc. You can also follow us here on Twitch, twitch.tv/helpfulgoat. That gets you a notification every time we go live. Doesn't cost you anything. If you would like to financially support us, you can cheer some bits, or you can subscribe to us. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to us for free with Twitch Prime. As always, we encourage you, if you have Amazon Prime and you enjoy watching streamed content, especially in the TTRPG and board gaming space, even if you don't use it on us, please use that Twitch Prime sub on somebody. It makes a big difference to small and mid-sized streamers, especially when they're starting out, so we really would appreciate that. If my eyes look a little weird, it's because I'm also watching myself on a Twitch screen on like a 6-second delay, so it's getting very jarring. So let's see, we went through those. You can also use !KO-FI to get a link to our Coffee page, where you can donate directly to us if you enjoy what we do. If you enjoy what we do and would like to wear it on your body, you can use !merch in chat. Oh, thank you, Heather. Thank you, Debbie. There is 2 new pieces of merch in the store today in honor, actually, of Tyler, who is guest on Goat's Eye View. If you go and look in there, you can find a notebook and a t-shirt featuring his quote, "Anything can be dice if you try hard enough."
That's excellent.
Which was rapidly embraced as a motto by our community, so I put those in. Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently my camera feed is delayed on Twitch. Doing my best. Trying to think anything else. Covered the merch, covered that. Exclamation point donate gives you a link to cause that we are supporting at the moment, trying to raise awareness of. The Asian American Pacific Islander community in America faces numerous challenges, faces many hate crimes, faces many hate incidents. 3,800 were reported in the last year alone. Recently, there has been the horrific shootings in Atlanta. There have also been spates of racist violence and racist incidents directed at members of the AAPI community. Often, these incidents are also treated as not hate crimes, which is part of the problem. So in an attempt to raise awareness around this, provide resources, etc., we suggest and kindly request that you reach out to stopaapihate.org. That link also, or rather that command also includes a link a little bit lower down that has an article that lists a number of local resources, local charities, etc. You can also just find a list of Asian-owned businesses in your area. Support them with purchases that you would probably be making anyway. Just choose where your money goes. All of those things help. We appreciate it immensely. It's a cause that is near and dear to our hearts and that we want to keep attention on. With this, I am going to turn things over to introductions, starting with the creator of Beak, Feather, and Bone and the Beak, Feather, and Bone mod, Beak, Feather, and Bash, and my guest earlier this week on Goat's Eye View, Tyler.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm Tyler Crumrine, he, him, his. And yeah, I'm super excited to join y'all to play a celebratory take on Beak, Feather, and Bone, a game of mine I released a year ago, and that really positioned me to go full-time RPG work this year with my company, Possible Worlds Games. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for putting in the work on this. A person who I want to thank for being up and hanging out with us at an ungodly early hour, Emma.
Hi, my name's Emma, she, her, hers. I'm really excited to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning hanging out with all you guys. It's my first time, so be kind. Thank you very much.
A regular as Burbage Camp, Connie Demure, the GM of Big Gay Orcs and Big Queer Orcs, Adam.
Hi, everybody. Adam here. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm excited to play games.
It's a lot of wind up. No swing. Playing Ressa in Tier Montreal, which was just on last night, as well as a GM for us during the Halloween season, Heather.
Hello, I'm Heather, she, her, hers, and I'm just really, really happy to be here today.
Joining us from not ungodly early, but by the end of it, probably pretty ungodly late, our friend Debbie. Nope, pointing the wrong way. The cam's reversed.
Over there, yeah. Hi, everyone. My name's Debbie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am super excited to stay up late. I know I'm going to be bouncing around afterwards, so can't wait.
Co-founder of Helpful Goat Games, DM of scintillating Dom and Dragons, Goats and Dragons, and many other things that involve dragons. Andy.
Hello, I'm Andrew Gilbert. I go by he, him, his, and I'm
Good. We're sticking the landings on these. Good. You have probably seen her on Spire, where she plays a spy who is not at all discomfited by the introduction of another spy to the group. Sarah.
Hello, I am Sarah, she, her, hers, and I like birds and bird-themed things.
And last but certainly not least, the newly introduced spy who Din is in no way discomfited by Inspire, and also has been a player in tier 1 shots, etc. Tyler.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tyler Rossi, he, him, his, and super excited to be here and get started.
With that, I will leave you in the very, very capable hands of... Oh, and yes, the overlay is not lying to you. We have 2 Tylers, so Have fun with that, y'all.
Double the
And-
Tyler, double the fun.
Double the Tyler, double the fun. I will.
Go away. You need to read Chelsea's poem. I
Thank
think.
you.
Oh yes.
Oh.
And as everyone who's familiar with this knows, our good friend Chelsea likes to write poems to let us know that we are seen and heard, which, if you are also familiar with us, you know with our tech struggles, it's not a thing we get to take for granted. Yes, happy birthday to the Goats and Dragons podcast, a celebratory toast from Hikari's favorite flask. These worlds and stories you've created the past few years bring so much joy to listeners' ears. Big excite for this Beak, Feather, and Bash playtest. To be here with you all, I couldn't be more blessed. Congrats and thank you, Helpful Goat, for all that you've done and will continue to do. Much love. I can see and hear you. Thank you so much, Chelsea.
Awesome,
Thanks,
Chelsea.
As
Chelsea.
It's greatly appreciated. We love having everybody here. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Play along. Tyler's also going to give you some ways that you can make this all more, chaotic, probably, because that's honestly just really our MO at this point. I'm just settling into the fact that that's our brand. But yeah, with this, I will turn it over to Tyler Crumrine to explain the rules, explain to everybody what's going on, and I will also get to show you the map, and I retreat into the land of the Tech Undead as Tech Ghost. Have a great time, everybody. See y'all later.
Thanks, Galway.
Thank you, Galway. All right, we will go ahead and get started. So everyone should be seeing the map now for Beak, Feather, and Bone. So Beak, Feather, and Bone is a map labeling RPG. This map is the map that was commissioned for the game by Jonathan Yee, excellent illustrator and cartoonist. But the way that Beak, Feather, and Bone is played is we start with an unlabeled map like this one, but really you can use any map that you find or generate online. And with that map, we are going to do some collaborative world building together. The other thing that you can't see is just out of frame is a deck of playing cards. So each turn, what we're going to do is we are going to draw a card, and we're going to get two things from that card. First, we're going to get a value. The values we just kind of add. I have a little running sheet here, so you don't have to worry about tracking it, as long as everyone is sure to vocalize the cards they've drawn, since they won't be showing up on the overlay. Those values are a lightly competitive part of the game, where the person who has the highest score at the end of the game will have a little extra say in the world building and the narrative work that we're doing. And then the suit of the card that you draw determines what kind of building you are going to label on the map. Each of us are going to have different community roles. And so let's say I was the Wizards. I'm representing the Wizards in this town. And I were to draw a card that is a heart. Hearts are a social purpose. So I would look at this map and I would pick out a building, and I would say, like, okay, I want to label this building here. I'm going to claim that, and I'm going to create a social purpose for it. And let me once you select that, you go ahead and you're going to assign its Beak, Feather, and in our case, Bash. Usually it would be Beak, Feather, and Bone. The Beak is what would an NPC say about this location. So, like, what's the word on the street about it? If you were to ask someone, they would be like, oh, it's really run down. I try and avoid it. The Feather is what it looks like from the outside. So maybe if I was describing this building, I would say that, like, oh, it's a tower that the Wizards use, and it has like all kinds of flashy, glass hanging from it, catching the light in different interesting ways. And then the Bone would be its true purpose and what its inside looks like. But we're not playing Beak, Feather, and Bone. We're playing Beak, Feather, and Bash. So instead of like determining a city, we are going to be planning a party for this city. So for each of the buildings that we claim, we are going to be saying, what we're going to say what the building is, and we're going to describe what people say about the party function that's going there. what the building looks like as it's been updated for this party. And then the bash is like, what fun thing can you do there? Like, what thing are they providing? And the person with the highest score at the end of the game is basically going to be like the crown of the party, the person who is like selected to, you know, have some like special final speech or final decree at the end of all that. So hearts are a social purpose. Diamonds are a financial purpose. Clubs would usually be a future purpose, but instead we're going to go ahead and just make that a festive purpose. So if you get a club, then that is going to be a building that like has been specifically set up for this party. Like the other ones, the social financial purpose, maybe it used to be like a bank, but the bank is like serving punch or something. Or maybe it used to be a social club, but that's where they're doing like the ring toss. A festive purpose is kind of a bit of a wild card where you can say like, okay, this is something that we set up just for this festival. It's usually not there. And then we have one that is a past purpose. So ideally, this is maybe something that is a bit out of use, that, you know, they are updating and kind of getting back up and running again for this party.
And that's spades?
That is spades, yes. Sorry if I said something different.
Nope, you just clarifying. And could you repeat what beak, feather, and bash are? Because I'm going to take notes this time.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe
I'm here to walk you all through it. So I'm going to
Okay.
be reminding people. I'm going to be choreographing this.
Oh, good.
So
'Cause
basically,
I was not.
no, it's fine. So once you select your building, you are going to say, you know, what the building is. You're going to give its beak, which is what do people say about it. Its feather, what does it look like? And its bash, you know, how is it contributing to the party? And I'll go ahead and take the first turn so everyone can see me model it. And then I'm thinking we're going to go around clockwise on the stream overlay. So it would be me, Debbie, Andy, Sarah, Tyler, Heather, Adam, Emma, back to me. All right. So there are two other things that we, well, I'm going to say one other thing. Usually there's also like a seat of power in this game. But because we don't have someone who's like ruling the town, we're just going to have someone in charge of the party. I have something different, fun planned for that. But the next thing that we have to do is we have to each all select our community roles. So the examples that exist in the book in Beak, Feather, and Bone would be the mages, the miners, the farmers, the ranchers, the thieves, the soldiers, the merchants, the elders, the clerics, and the strangers. But really, your group can be whatever you want it to be. You know, it's usually easiest to like select a kind of trade. But really, you are not going to be portraying individual characters in this game. You are going to be representing your community. The only exception is if you draw a face card, you are going to create a reveler, and that gives you a chance. Usually it's a rival, but that's going to give you a chance to make an NPC within the party. And it's going to follow the same steps of Beak, what do people say about them? Feather, what do they look like? And Bash, what kind of partying are they getting up to? So the next step is going to be to select our community roles. So I am going to go ahead and select for myself the miners. I'm going to be representing the miners within this town.
Like young people, or
No, like mining for ore.
okay.
Yes.
Can I be minors, young people?
Yeah, you can be the minors.
The minors.
The minors. Does anyone else have an idea of what community they'd like to represent?
I'd like to be the farmers.
All right. Heather is the farmers.
I would like to be the soldiers.
Soldiers. Debbie is the soldiers.
I'd like to be the entertainers.
Ooh, all
Lovely.
right. The entertainers for Emma.
I want to be the merchants so I can hawk that merch.
All right, merchants for Sarah. Tyler and Adam, what do you
Where's
think?
the-
I can suggest one if you like.
Were the clicks an option? Is that one you threw out?
The clerics is what I said.
Yeah. Was that one of the groups that you had said
Yeah,
in your
yeah, you can be like the holy people of the town.
list? Sure, let's go.
All right, and then Adam.
I kind of want to bring in some some goats and dragons and be like the cultists, the Fireblight cultists.
You can be that. You can be some cultists behind the scene.
Would that be basically the strangers? Like, what are the strangers?
Yeah, you are like outside people who have like infiltrated the town to participate in this party.
Yeah. I'm the cultist crashers. Yeah.
So I will go ahead and take the first turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a card here on Roll20. And it looks like, oh, great, this is perfect for the example. So I got the Queen of Diamonds. So I have to claim a building with a financial purpose, and I am going to make a reveler who is connected to this building. So I'm going to look at the map, and I'm going to pick a building that it serves a financial purpose for the miners. I am going to go ahead and select this cave over here. And all you're going to do is just put a little square in your color over it. So I've got that cave there, and I have gotten 0 points for my face card. And the cave, I'm going to say the Beak is, what people say about it is this is where the miners usually haul up the ore that they get from the mines. The feather is, I'm going to say that it is decked out in festival lighting. They have like strung a bunch of lights across the archway of this tunnel, so that what is like usually like just very drab and dirty and dusty is now like almost has like a tunnel of love type feeling to it. And for the bash, I'm going to go ahead and say that like that is what they've created. They have created a tunnel of love, but it is mine carts instead of little boats. And so I'm also going to create a reveler. I am going to create Madison the minecart maniac, and that is one of a member of the mining guild. Their Beak is, everyone is like, whoa, she really likes minecarts. Their feather is, I think she's like decked out in like almost like crash test dummy type padding, because she's always riding these minecarts around, and is liable to tumble off every once in a while. And her bash is, the way she's participating in the festival is she doesn't even have like someone that she's riding the tunnel of love with. She just really loves these minecarts, and so she is just like riding them in a loop for the duration of the festival.
Was she gonna let anybody else join her on those rides?
I feel like every once in a while there's maybe someone who's like in a group of 3, and so they do the thing at the theme park where they're like, oh well, it fits to a minecart, so well, Madison is already here, so I guess you can hop in her cart.
Okay, but it is like an attraction.
Yeah,
like
other people, there are plenty of minecarts. She is not
okay.
monopolizing it.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be much of a tunnel of love if there was only one boat. All right, and so that is my turn. Next up is Debbie. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is draw a card and Roll20 and put it in the gray space.
All right. Okay. How do I put it in the gray space?
You just pull from the top and just let go. Yeah.
I got it.
All right. So you got a 5 of diamonds. And you are the soldiers. So now you need to go to the map and draw a shape in your color around a building or structure. It can be, there's a lot of different things on this map. It can be whatever you want. But this is something that usually serves a financial purpose for the soldiers, and they are adapting it for this party. Oh, I forgot to give the framing of the party. I'm sorry, one moment. I'm going to go ahead and say this name of this city is Birdtown. We are all bird people in this bird town. Some people call them raven folk. Some people call them kenku. Who can really be sure with copyright laws these days? But we are all ravens living in Birdtown. And who can say if it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Some say, if you're thinking about it, really, it was 1 year ago that a lot of people came to this town. But a few years ago, there was a huge fire in the town. It was a very dry season that almost threatened to wipe it out. But the creature that wound up saving the town by selflessly running and pulling the cork out of a big water tower and letting water out that stymied the fire was a very helpful goat. And this goat was just so helpful. Its name was Hubert, Hubert the helpful goat. And now once a year we celebrate Hubert's heroism. Why did I make this tongue twister for myself? But Hubert the helpful goat's heroism by throwing this festival. So this is the helpful goat birthday celebration that we are celebrating their acts of heroism. So with that in mind, Debbie, it is to you. Do you know what building you would like?
Yeah, I want this kind of funny looking one. Looks maybe like a mast.
Okay.
On the
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And for the soldiers, this is going to be the place where they keep their spoils of war.
Okay.
So all of the stuff that they have acquired in the way that soldiers do. So it's like a vault.
So Beak, what do people say about this building? What's its reputation in the town?
It's impenetrable. You can't get into it unless you are invited. You can't get any of the stuff out unless they want you to get it out.
At Feather, what does it look like as it's been dressed up for this party?
So the soldiers have decided in their generosity this party season to allow every town member to come in and pick one thing. So they've built this, right? One thing, and you must be able to carry it to build this kind of like an archway on the way in of flowers. And it's going to be watched and supervised, but basically they're inviting the town into the vault to take something. So the rest of the building is plain grey, military, and then there's just this arch of flowers.
And give us a glimpse at the bash. How are people participating in this? Is it a mad rush? Is there a line going out the door? Are people afraid to take weapons of mass destruction for a party?
So it is extremely well organized. There is a line. There's probably some of those roped off queues that we all know and love. And there are soldiers positioned at intervals to supervise the goings on. And there's also a soldier in the vault. I think the most dangerous stuff has been hidden away for safekeeping. So there's some ruby daggers, and there's a little pile of gold, and there's some gems, and there's some other odds and ends. Nothing that really can do too much harm, but a lot of value there. But it's one item you can carry.
Excellent. And that is your turn. Thank you. Up next is Andy. Andy, draw a card for the miners.
10 of spades.
Ooh, so that is, you want to find a structure on the map that served a past purpose and is associated with the miners.
Interesting. I think... Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm going to pick this little spot right here.
Okay.
So I imagine that in the past, this used to be where that water tower was, that the helpful goat knocked over or opened and then flooded into this little valley to put out the fire. And now it's like the cool park hangout of like all these teens and minors.
So
Yeah.
the Beak, what would like a rando on the street say about this spot?
Right. So this is the place that like the kids go to make out. So if you want to like go up on the hill and overlook all the lights of the city and make out, this is where all the kids do that. That's what they say about it.
The feather, how has it been dressed up for this festival? Like, are they inviting other people into their spot, or have they just like put out some solo cups for the teens making out there?
Right. Yeah. As this place is known for being a makeout spot, it's always been incredibly dark up here, and mostly unused by the town. But in this instance, I think they've put up some like cool fantasy hippie lights, just kind of around the place, and so it's got a nice little dim vibe. And this is the place where they're going to kind of drink a little bit. So it's just barely decorated at the moment. But then I think its party function, I think its bash is all of the kids of the town have sort of been spiriting away fireworks over the last year, and they're going to set them off over the town at midnight this evening. And so this is kind of the staging area for the fireworks now.
Fantastic. All right. Up next is Sarah. Go ahead and draw a card for the merchants.
I can't see the deck on my screen
Roll
for some reason.
20.
Yeah,
I can
All
draw
the way
a
on
card
the
for
right.
you.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
It might be a zoom issue if you like zoom out.
If you
or
zoom in or out. But
Yeah,
I'll
I
just draw one
was
for
zooming
you.
out, but
You got the Joker. So that means you are getting 0 points this turn.
Okay.
But on the final turn of the game, you're going to be able to implement a twist on the last moment. This is something that the Dungeons and Asians podcast and stream came up with when they played it, and I love it, so I work it into all the games now. But basically, the final moment of the game, like you're gonna be the one to put like the stinger twist on it. But for now, you can pick any building and give it whatever purpose you want. This is more or less a wild card. So you'll still need to give its Beak, Feather, and Bash, but you don't need to feel limited by the social, financial, etc.
okay. I'm gonna take this big looking building.
Oh, all right.
And this is gonna be the fantasy superstore of Birdtown. And so it just sells everything.
So Beak, what would someone say? Like, what's the word on the street about Fantasy Superstore?
The word on the street is that this is a very they have really good labor practices, and they enjoy actually going to it and spending their money there. And people who work there are like excited about it, and they can't wait to get to work.
What is the feather? How have they gussied it up for this festival?
They have a lot of Hubert the Helpful Goat decorations, like big cardboard cutouts and things hanging from the ceiling and streamers, and like the cardboard cutouts that you can like stick your face through. So they have a lot of cardboard items.
And then the Bash, how are they participating in the festival? It's festival night. What is their attraction?
It's kind of like trick or treating. So you can go through with a bag of you get a bag, and then you can go through and get like different like goods from the different areas. So from the home goods, from the grocery, from the sporting goods, you get like a little trinket in each spot.
Man, I can go to one side of town and get a broadsword from the soldiers. I can go to the other part of town and get some like produce. This is a hell of a festival. Thank you.
Just give things away.
Yeah, it's the spirit of generosity. No wonder people like working there. Tyler, you are up next for the clerics. If you would like to draw a card.
Sure. Hold on, I have to tell it to draw one card. There we go.
You can also just like pull up. You got the other Joker.
No way.
So you are getting. You're gonna put a twist on the twist. So when we get to the end,
Oh God,
there's going to be a double reversal. It's gonna get like professional wrestling in here. So similarly, you have free reign to pick a building and assign it whatever purpose you want for the clerics.
Sure. Let's go with. All right, so yeah, that feels right. So this building here is going to be the Cathedral to Saint Hubert the Helpful.
Oh wow, he achieved sainthood.
Became a saint.
Right in center of town.
It's we really love Hubert so much here.
So how does the person on the street feel about the temple, though? How do they feel about the fact that there's a giant temple to a goat in the middle of their town?
It's gotten mixed reviews. There's a lot that will flock to it as Hubert is our one and only savior. Otherwise, the town would burn down. Others would say that why are we worshiping a goat? So it's a mix.
And then how is the building gussied up for this festival? What does it look like?
So it's still under construction. We're still adding on, annexes and really trying to make it great. It's got a lot of structural supports still in place. And we've just gotten as many goat masks and goat-themed products from the superstore and just kind of seated up just all of the exterior. No one can go inside yet. That's a sacred for the goat priests.
The goat priest.
The bash. How is this building participating in the festival?
Sure. So they are doing a poorly acted, but their heart's in the right place, reenactment of Hubert's rescue of the town.
Now I've got to ask: do they have a goat in the play, or is a bird playing the goat?
They tried to find one. They could not. So a bird will be playing Hubert.
That is excellent. Thank you. Up next, we have Heather, with the farmers. If you would draw a card.
I will. If I can figure out how to do it. Draw one. And then how do I drag it to the gray?
I think it should just. Oh, I think you have it in your hand. Yeah. So I think if you just grab it from your hand and like drop it down, like drag it with your mouse.
Oh no, it's not dragging.
Maybe I'll just draw a card for you.
Okay. I can see it.
We got you.
There we go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, put it over that 3 of clubs then. Where did it wind up? All right, you got the 4 of hearts.
Okay, so
I'll put that under there.
And so hearts are social.
Yes, so you want to pick a building that serves a social purpose for the farmers.
Okay.
And you want to draw a square around it.
I am going to all the way to the top of the map, I think, and take this building and all of its amenities around it. Because what that looks like to me is a nice gathering place, a big old barn where the farmers usually come together and bring all their special cows and special goats and everything to show them off to each other and have happy hour with their favorite
With their animals.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sure, why
How
not?
does the town feel about this this like animal tavern?
They think the farmers are kind of weird, but the ones that have actually gone and joined in know that it's really an awful lot of fun, and so it depends on who you ask that what answer you're going to get.
What is the feather? How have they dressed it up for the festival?
They have made it into a goat barn, so it's exclusively goats this time, and this stuff it that's I'm gonna ping it if I can. Nope, because I just put 2 little purple marks
Yeah, no, that's great.
there. So those are like stages that they put out, and they're doing like goat fashion shows, and they allowed and this will kind of go in with then the bash part too, because the kids of the town get to pick a
Now, are
goat.
these children or are these kids as
Kid
in a
with
young
goats.
goat?
Kids as in young goats.
Okay.
So the kids of the town get to dress up and decorate the kids of the farmers as in the goats of the farmers, and then they put on a fashion show for everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you. Up next, we have Adam with the cultists.
Okay, drew a card.
You got the 3 of diamonds. So that is 3 and is something that serves a financial purpose for these fire blight cultists that have infiltrated this town. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, a financial purpose. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the a couple of nights before, no, the night before the big bash, or no, the day of the bash, the fire blight cultists have I'm gonna say this building here. Oh yeah, change the draw shape. Have
all right.
Have taken over the bank of the town. They've robbed the bank and taken the bankers hostage.
Okay.
They do need the money in the bank, and so that's why they have they've gone ahead and used violence and threats of violence to take over the bank.
Beak, how aware of the town is this, and how to what is their reaction?
So it's
also, are these cultists raven folk, or are they like posing as raven folk?
They are.
How do you envision this?
They are posing as raven folk. They're like humans and elves, and but they have like fake wings and stuff, and like plague doctor masks and things like that. And it's kind of genius plan on their part because of all the preparations around.
Wow, whoever came up with this idea, it must be some kind of genius. Oh, in the fiction of this world, who could have thought of this?
Honestly, people haven't really noticed.
Okay.
because everyone's so busy with planning for the party and stuff, and they, occasionally people are still going to the bank to make withdrawals, like for to like buy supplies and stuff for their parts of the bash. But as far as they can tell, these are just like big birds working at a bank.
Okay, great. What is the feather? How are they how have they dressed it up for the festival? Because it would be pretty obvious that they had taken everyone hostage if this was the only building not participating.
Sure, yeah. So they have they've put out some flyers and like things on like the bulletin board in the bank, kind of promoting the big bash. But it is it's different than the other kind of flyers and decorations throughout the rest of the town. Like it is, instead of focusing on kind of the goat and on Hubert, it is like a picture of fire. And the flyers kind of seem kind of foreboding, kind of promoting like, oh, come to the Hubert party and get lit up.
Whoa.
And then what is the bash of it? What is the actual Hubert party? What's happening here?
They are planning to reenact the fire part of the story. So they know that the clerics are doing the reenactment of Hubert's rescue of the town, but the Fireblight cultists are reenacting the other part of it. Andy, in the canon of the Fireblight cultists attribute the Fireblight and the great burning to which god? Do you remember?
To Boreer.
To Boreer.
Yeah.
Okay. So they really, this is definitely like they are,
but also presumptive
against
of you to consider this canon. I don't know if it is yet.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be
the Fireblight god Boreer, also known as Heat Miser.
So yeah, that's what they're planning on doing, and it's kind of against the clerics, because the clerics have worship a different god.
All right, thank you, Adam. Hopefully you don't get too many points. Up next is Emma as the entertainers.
Okay, so draw one.
So, looks like it put it in your hand.
Oh, okay.
If you double click it, then you can drag it to the gray. It'll open a bigger box.
There we go.
Ah, so, you got the Jack of Clubs. So you are going to do first. You're going to pick a building that was established specifically for this festival by the entertainers. So you can choose anything, and it will be a temporary structure that they put up. And then after you do that, you're going to create one of the entertainers who is reveling, or maybe it's someone attending it. Who knows? We'll find out. But all right. So you've selected a building.
I've got this building here, and the Beak is that this is not somewhere you go unless you've got a really long time to spend there, because people have gone in to see what's going on and don't appear to have come out again since. So it's not somewhere you go when you're in a hurry.
Okay.
It's a bit confusing, and it looks like an Escher painting. So it's got like staircases on the outside that go up and down and don't appear to go anywhere. And those funny triangle things are big pyramids of mirrors.
Ooh.
And it's been built by the illusionists. So it was just a flooded out old warehouse after the fire flood thing. And they have built it as a illusionary hall of mirrors for the festival. But every mirror that you look in, you see yourself as a goat. So instead of the mirrors that make you really tall or really short and fat or really wide, they just make you into different shaped goats.
Excellent.
and you go in there, and it appears to be virtually impossible to find your way out once you're in there, because you can't tell where you are at all. There's just hundreds of goats.
So
And sorry, go on.
no, go ahead and finish it, and then I'll walk you through the NPC.
I was going to say, so its purpose is a hall of mirrors. That's its purpose in the festival. It's an illusionary hall of mirrors.
So for the NPC, you're similarly going to tell us their reputation, their look, and how they're participating in the festival.
Okay.
And this can either be someone who is one of the entertainers, or maybe it's someone who is trapped in this hall of mirrors. It can be anyone as long as it's connected to your little microcosm.
Okay, so it's run by an illusionist who is called Jeremy, and nobody knows what he looks like. But in the Hall of Mirrors, he looks like a bright red goat wearing a Christmas cracker party hat. And nobody actually has ever seen what Jeremy actually looks like. And Jeremy is also lost and is trying to get out of the Hall of Mirrors that he has created. And he's not 100% sure that there is an exit, but he's not telling anybody that. So he's welcoming goats as King Party Goat, but it's unclear 100% how anybody's going to get out.
I feel so bad for Jeremy. That's great. This is great. The tone of the festival is shifting. But thank you, Emma. So that is our first turn. I'm going to say, now that we kind of have an idea of the rules, let's play one more turn. We'll take a little bit of a break, and then we'll maybe finish off with another 1 or 2 turns before we wrap things up. Does that sound good to everyone?
Sure.
Cool. So I am next. I will draw myself a card, and I have...
I don't know what I was thinking. Of course this is going to be canon. Of course.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. This is amazing.
I got the 8 of spades. So and an update on the scores. I currently have 0. Debbie has 5. Andy has 10. Sarah has 0. Tyler has 0. Heather has 4. Adam has 3. Emma has 0. So currently the minors are in the lead, which also is a little concerning.
Yeah.
But right now we are playing the minors, and they have renovated something that was a past purpose for this festival. I am going to go ahead and claim this, looks like a kind of like dirt pile over here. And I'm going to go ahead and say that was a deposit of that. I'm going to say that's like kind of a dumping ground of where it's going to be like cleared off later. Supposedly it's one of those projects that no one's ever gotten to, where they did a whole bunch of digging and a whole bunch of construction, and they needed to put like all the earth from the basements that they helped to dig for the townhouses in an area, and they all just kind of got dumped over here. So it's kind of like the flaming tire pile.
Yeah, Emma Simpson's, right?
I don't know what you're referencing, Adam.
Okay.
So the dirt pile, what people say about it is, I really wish the miners would get rid of that dirt pile. It's been there for a really long time. The feather of it is they've just like barely gussied it up for this festival. Really, they're like kind of ashamed that they still haven't solved this problem yet. I imagine there have been a lot of like town meetings about it. So they've just kind of like put some tiki torches in it every once in a while. And the bash is they are handing out like little sleds that you can go to the top of this dirt pile and sled your way down. And like on the other end of it, like you are absolutely caked with dust. But it's you know, it's really like it's kind of a PR stunt for them to be like, good thing we didn't clear this away too early, or no one would have all this fun.
Dirt pile sledding.
All right, so up next is Debbie, if you want to draw a
Wow.
card.
I kind of want to go dirt pile sledding, but I mean, I'll draw a card.
Who doesn't?
I'm happy about
Oh.
this. Oh, where's it go? Oh, there.
The 10 of Hearts.
Yes.
Very
All
good.
right.
So you
Ooh.
are picking something with a social purpose for the soldiers.
All right. Well, I know exactly what I'm thinking of. I've just got to find the right building for it.
Another shout out to Jonathan Yee. Like, this map really is fantastic. And part of what they did so
Gorgeous.
well is put so many like weird little geometric shapes that are intentionally nondescript so that people can translate it in different ways. I've seen so many people play this game and like call out the exact same building and be like, oh, well, this is definitely a crystal. And the other person's like, this is definitely a tent. And another person's like, this is definitely a pit.
So this building is what I would call a working men's club.
Okay.
So it's like where the soldiers can go for their downtime. And it's like, so in terms of its Beak, like what other people think of it, it's a bit kind of bit rough and ready, bit grimy. It's not like a fancy cocktail bar or anything, but it's got like a big bar, all wood, with loads and loads of different types of alcohol, and velvet benches all the way around that people can sit round, and tables where you can play pool, and a dartboard, and you know, all the stuff that soldiers might want to do on their downtime. They have, in terms of the feather, they have gussied up the outside only because they don't need any fanciness on the inside. This is for soldiers, right? They're very practical sorts. So they probably hung some bunting and got a big, like, oh God, what's it called when you have a big shape and it's filled with sweets and you smash it with a hammer?
Pinata.
One of them, of the goat dude, like on the bit of the roof, ready to be smashed at some point during the festivities. So on the building, it's got like different levels. So I'm picturing it like balconies, kind of. So on the first of the balconies is the Hubert the Goat pinata. The purpose for the party is it's going to be a quiet refuge bar for the soldiers only. So
All right.
it's still the place that they can go and hang out away from all the civilians.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you know, so they just give away a couple warheads and then go and play
To the
pool.
bar for a game of pool.
Yeah. Thank you. Up next is Andy with the miners. If you would draw a card for us.
I have a 5 of hearts.
Oh, all right. Another social purpose for the miners.
Seems fitting.
Okay. It's what?
Seems fitting. Social purpose for
Seems
miners.
fitting. Yeah.
No, I just really want to find out like how these kids get money.
So yeah. Okay. So up here in the corner,
Okay, top left
is
cave.
is a cave that has been transformed into a malt shop, in which kids can go and get sweets in an authentic cave experience. It's made to look a lot like a real working mine cave, but that's just the facade of the malt shop. It's just made to sort of look like that. And yeah, and this is the town says that this cave experience is you pay way too much for the experience of being in a mine, and the elders of the town are like, you stupid kids, you could just go into an actual mine and work, when this is all just facade for them. But you know, the kids like to kind of make believe in this malt shop. And the party function of this malt shop is, they've brought in a goat toward the back of the cave, and people pay the youth group, the local town youth group. They pay them $5 to scream secrets at the goat. But it's a cave, so the secrets bounce off all around and everyone can hear them. And so the youth group are actually taking notes on the town's secrets that they're screaming at the goat here.
Amazing.
Now, is there a reason why one would scream secrets at a goat? Is this like a tradition in the town?
It is. One of the reasons people said that the goat saved the town in the first place was because the people of the town confided in the goat. They told him all of their wants and desires and secrets and fears, and he loved the town so much.
Oh,
And this is carrying on that tradition, only for nefarious purposes for the teens.
Yeah, of course. This is classic teen shit. All right. Up next is Sarah for the merchants.
Okay, I figured out that if I make it full screen, then it works.
Ah, okay.
Got the Jack of Diamonds.
All right. So you got another 0. You are selecting a financial purpose for the merchants, and then you're going to create an NPC connected to it.
Okay. So I'm going to pick this little boy up here that I'm drawing on it. I was trying to do a shape, but I just drew it. So it's like a weird circle.
Yeah. There's like a little bean up in the top right.
Yeah. So this is kind of like that little art installation in Texas, like the little Prada store, and it's just like out in the middle of nowhere. And so this is similar, where it's like a very like posh, high-end little tiny shop, and they only sell one item. It's a little diamond and ruby encrusted monocle, and it is $5 million. So nobody's ever really going to buy it. The word on the street is that it used to belong to one of the bird founders of the town, who believed that you should be able to buy anything with enough money, and decided that it needed to go in a little fancy store and someone could buy it. It looks like kind of like that, like Prada store, right? So it's just very simple, not a lot of things, but in honor of celebrating the goat, they have added like a small birthday candle near the in the ruby encrusted monocle. And what you can do there is just look from the outside into it. You're still not allowed to go in, but
So
it's the same.
Go ahead and create an NPC for us connected to this location. It can be someone working there. Maybe it's someone pining after it.
Yeah, so I think the NPC works there, and he lives in there too, actually. And nobody has ever seen him leave or buy food or anything, but sometimes they'll see him like walking through the back, and they don't know what his name is, so they just call him like Monocle Guy. The monocle shop guy, the monocle owner, right? Maybe the kids have some meaner names for him, but no one's really sure what he looks like. Similar to the illusionist person from the Hall of Mirrors, and a lot of times they just see kind of like a shadow scurrying back. Sometimes they'll see him like sleeping in a corner, but it just looks like a pile of rags.
And how is he participating in the festival?
He's gonna look back out the window from his his back room area. So he's like gonna peek an eye like once in a while and be like, "All right, something's happening."
Okay. Wow, thrilling. lot of just really deeply sad people in this town. But at least they have a goat to share all their secrets with, so they'll be fine. And youth groups of youths to weaponize that information. So up next we have Tyler. Tyler, if you would like to draw a card for the clerics.
Sure. Got the 7 of clubs. It looks like it's not dragging.
Double click it and then drag it to the gray
You
space.
accidentally just stole
Let
it.
it go.
I just stole it. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I'll drag it out.
Yeah, put it down, Adam. Geez, you just grabbed it out of his
Competitive,
hand.
Adam.
I didn't know you
Wow.
could do that.
I didn't know you could do it either.
So you got
Sure.
something that is a 7 and that serves a festive purpose. So this is another thing that was a temporary structure built just for this festival by the clerics.
Sure. Sure, why not? So let me get my tool here. So we are gonna have this little fella up in the corner.
Okay.
They took the remnants of the water tower and rebuilt it, a kind of like half replica type thing, and it's almost like a little like Dead Man's Drop. Like it'll go like a 90-degree angle, so you can get inside and feel how it felt, the water tower as it came crashing down. This is another splinter sect of our main church. This is it was sponsored by the Church of the Water Tower, which believes that if only people believed in the water tower, that it would assume its godhood.
Okay, so the water is
this
the
was
real
their
savior here. Everyone's calling out this goat, but if without the
Exactly.
water, yeah.
yes.
So
Love
we
the-
got
the-
a little bit of a
Uh,
description of what it looks like. Or no, sorry. Tell us, how does the town feel about this? As this water
Sure.
slide.
So this is the example that everyone gives for the reason why they're an atheist, or a reason for why they worship, spirit, or the reason why they left town at all. Who believes in a sentient water tower?
How has it been? Give us a bit more of a picture. Like, how festive is it? Is it decorated at all? Is it just kind of like plain old, like, hey, this is a water tower, you should respect it?
Yeah, so it's been decorated with a lot of like signs have been like duct taped and nailed into it. A lot of it just saying, this is the real hero, not Hubert. In as many languages as they can muster. And there's just on the front of it is a real big happy water droplet with a big smiley face.
Great. And so
yeah. Oh, and they.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the inside when someone goes in, it is decorated with these of how their water tower saved everyone, and a very long-winded description of the seconds as it fell to the ground. Sorry.
That is excellent. And so folks are given the option to ride this this counter festival ride. That is great. Heather, you are up next for the farmers.
Okay. Draw one. And I got the Ace of Spades.
Ooh, the Ace of Spades. That is 1 point. So that is one better than 0. And you are you are updating something that had a past purpose for the farmers.
Okay. I will take this building right there, except it's not really a building anymore. It was a building where the farmers would have like a farmer's market in the mornings, on the weekends, but it kind of got old and crumbly. And so they're updating it. And they took the roof off and turned it into basically a ring. And they're doing bucking bronco rides in there.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they have decorated it, with streamers and stuff along the outside and big signs telling people to, come try their luck. And, our horses are pretty gentle.
What a real, yeah.
Yeah. With pictures of like gently bucking horses. And then they're giving these bronco rides away.
So we got a glimpse at what it looks like, and we know what they're doing there. But how does the town feel about it? Like, what's the word on the street about these not too rough Broncos?
The word on the street again depends on who you talk to. A couple of the miners, the kid miners, teenager miners, actually had a really fantastic time there. They think this is the best thing ever. Granny didn't like it so much. Her hip didn't fare so well. And there are a couple gentle horses in there. So every so often someone gets a really nice ride, like a pony ride around the ring. And so they're pretty pleased when they get that. But yeah, the town is happy that the old nasty farmers market is coming down that they didn't like to visit because it was just gross.
Very good. These farmers, they love their animals, but they don't seem to love their common man quite as much. Up next is Adam with these cultists. Speaking of loving our fellow man, Adam, if you would draw a card.
9 of spades.
All right. So that is similarly something that served a past purpose that the cultists are now updating for this festival.
Sure. So I'm going to say that right near the makeout point, where the miners go to make out, let's say this building here is it was the old fireworks store, and it did get shut down in the aftermath of the original fire, and fireworks were made illegal because of what happened. But the fire cultists have also taken over that old abandoned fireworks store and have been giving very dangerous fireworks to the children to set off at the bash. I cannot hear anybody. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
None of us are
Myself
talking.
muted.
Okay.
I am back. Sorry, I was doing some typing. I was letting Galway know that we're getting close to a break. But so Adam, you told us what the festival purpose of it is, that they're giving out these fireworks. What does it look like? Is it disguised as something else? Is it like, are they advertising the fact that they have fireworks?
It is. So it for the last few years, it's been just a boarded up fireworks store with like just a decomposing kind of sign that says fireworks store. But they've gone ahead and added kind of to the upper left of that sign, like just the words kind of "still abandoned." Still abandoned fireworks store. But that's it. That's the only change they've made. They want to make sure everybody knows that it's still abandoned and that there's no cultists in there selling fireworks to anybody. And the people, and so the beak is that people have been seeing it and they're like, "Huh, okay, I guess that fireworks store is still abandoned."
It's still abandoned. Yeah, it's good to know. Thank you. I've been waiting for an update on that. All right. Up next is Emma for the entertainers.
So 5 of clubs.
5 of clubs. So you are creating something that was built for this festival, something that has a festive purpose.
Okay, so I'm taking this one, which I think is next to the spoils of war.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that is Ludo Ludwig's Land of Latex.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it's run by the Balloon Modelers Association. And the word on the street is all the adults, so the miners, the farmers, particularly the soldiers, are really unimpressed that Ludo Ludwig has opened this shop, particularly next to the very austere, serious sort of spoils of war soldiers place.
Get your guns and balloons.
So the kids think this is an awesome addition because from their perspective, it's right between the malt shop and the playground. So they can pick up all their sort of latex requirements on the way to the hangout, which is a good thing. It looks like a giant pink, one of those long balloons that you use for balloon modeling. It's like a giantly inflated one of those. So that's a top view as you look down on a fully inflated. So it's a big tall building. So it's like walking into a big balloon. All your hair stands on end as you go in the door. And so that's what it looks like. And the purpose for the festival is to make purely and simply balloon modeled hats of Hubert the helpful goat that people can wear on their heads while they're walking around town, and any other purposes that people could think of are just entirely in your own imagination. That's not true at all. They just make balloon modeled hats.
Thank you. So, I pinged Galway, so we should. Oh, hello, Ghost. Excellent. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear a ghost. Oh, spooky boogie. Up next, we are going to be taking a little bit of a break, and then we'll come back and play 1 or 2 turns. We'll decide what we're feeling. But a score update for everyone watching. I currently have, or let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Wiping the rear is Sarah with 0 points. Tied for second to last place are Heather and Emma with 5 points. Up next is Tyler with Clerics at 7 points. Up next is the other Tyler, me, as the Miners with 8 points. And then up next, second place is Adam with the Cultists, 12 points. We might have a very festive end to the night should Adam get some good draws here. But currently tied for first at 15 points each are Debbie and Andy, the soldiers and miners respectively. So make sure you come back after our break to see how this festival finishes up and which group is selected as the master of ceremonies for the conclusion of the festival and gets to decide how we celebrate the end of these festivities. So again, this is Beak, Feather, and Bash, a hack of Beak, Feather, and Bone. Beak, Feather, and Bone is a map labeling RPG. You can buy it for $5 digitally on itch.io, or you can also order a physical copy of it for $15. That includes shipping. It's a nice little zine, and it comes out with 2 printed versions of this map so that you can print them. But if money is an issue, I also released an SRD of the game. That is a systems reference document that will be free in perpetuity. It has the baseline rules of the game without any of the cool art or GMing tips. And you are welcome to make your own hacks of it. If you want to make a space version of Beak, Feather, and Bone called Beam, Feather, and Bone, if you want to drop this in as a mini game into a larger RPG product of yours, you're welcome to do that. And you can find out about all of that and more at possibleworldsgames.com. And with that, I think we will go to break if the ghosts are kind to us and make that thing happen.
Later, everyone.
See ya.
Manage your fluids. Hello.
Hello. Welcome back, all of our fine feathered friends. It's a birthday. It's a birthday from us to you, for us, from you. So thank you for our birthday bash with Beak, Feather, and Bash, a game about birds and also maps, where we are pitting miners and miners against each other. So thank you all so much for joining us. A little score recap. We have currently in the lead Debbie and Andy. The soldiers and the miners are tied for who is the master of ceremonies at the end of this birthday bash, celebrating Hubert the Helpful Goat, a goat that saved the town of Birdtown once upon a time. But was it really Hubert, or was it water that did all the hard work of putting out the fire? But we also have the cultists coming up right behind the soldiers and the miners, vying for influence in the town. But who knows if the miners, merchants, clerics, farmers, or entertainers might pick up the slack and really just blow us away with something for the next portion of this game. So let's go ahead and dive back in. I think we have time for 2 more turns at the pace we were going, and then we will take a final tally of the scores. I believe so anyway. Is there enough cards in the deck for that? How many people do we have playing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Times 4 is, yeah, that's enough.
Wait,
That's enough.
8
people, right?
not
There are
7.
8.
8.
Oh, well, somebody lied to me.
Andy, it was Andy. You should
Adam,
disqualify
come on.
him from the game.
8 times 4
Jesus.
is what, 30, 32? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there are plenty
Yes.
of cards in the deck. We're not going to run out. Ostensibly, this game can support up to 10 players, but really it's however many you feel like creating communities for, as long as you don't mind running out of cards at a certain point, or just shuffling
Shuffle
them
them
back.
and put them back.
Yeah. So I will draw my next card. I'm going to put it over here, and I got the King of Diamonds, which is great for the story, but awful for my score. So I get a 0 for that, and I need to create something with a financial purpose for the miners. Looking at this map, I think... Okay, I got it. So down here in the bottom leftmost corner, I am going to take this. That is a for anyone who's been to Pittsburgh, we have the Pittsburgh Incline, which is like a little one-way train that just goes up and down a hill. So that's what this is, and it's kind of a people mover because our city is in this big crater, and usually the miners would use it to get the ore that they're mining out of the crater up onto the roads that lead to and from the town for trading. But for the festival, there are a lot of folks from outside the town that come around just for this. And they have repurposed it into a way to get down into the town quicker for tourists. And they are charging people through the nose for it. So I'm going to say that that is the beak of it, is that the townspeople are like, wow, they're really price gouging. This is ridiculous. But the tourists are like, oh, this is so great. I'm here. I'm willing to pay to, not have to like climb down these steep cliffs and walk around in a circle. The feather of it is that they have lined the railway tracks with like, I want to say a kind of ground up crystal powder that they've extracted from the mines, and it's like a bioluminescent kind of stone that, as it becomes nighttime, it starts to glow, and so it has this like really cool kind of like I'm thinking, the lit paths for like airplanes as they take off and set down, and then the bash of it is what I said. There's no party to be found here. They are just charging people to go up and down this wall. I am also going to create someone. I am going to create a miner named Railway Russ. And Russ used to be, so when you ask people about Railway Russ, they say he wouldn't hurt a fly. And when you look at Railway Russ, you see a very, very old, decrepit bird who is clearly past their prime. But the bash, the way they're participating in the festival, is this used to be a train conductor who would drive trains all over the continent, but is too old to stay out on the road and was retired, but was given charge of this little like one-way train. And so he is the conductor for this this littlest tram that could that goes up and down the walls, and he is very content with it. So something a little less cultish and
So nice.
and backstabby than some of our other people. He's not lost inside of his train or anything like that. All right, up next.
So wholesome.
Up next is Debbie for the soldiers.
Okay. Draw a card. Let me have my card. Oh, yeah. It's an
Ooh, nice.
8 of diamonds. Okay. Good for the score. Not good for my brain to think about something more financial. How do the soldiers
make money? Yeah.
They get paid by the town for keeping them safe. Oh, I suppose. All right, I've got it. Don't worry, everyone. My brain works. So we are going to have a mercenaries guild. Which would be... Where would it be? Is there like a... Oh, yeah. Okay, so I imagine, and I don't think this is going to draw well, but we'll give it a go. So these 2 triangles right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so one is like where the customers would go in to hire somebody, and the other is like a training and assessment center for the soldiers, so they can be like lined up with the right work for them.
So what does the town say about it?
They say that it is a really great kind of apprenticeship, useful place, really good for the kids. If they can get a place in the Mercenaries Guild as an apprentice, then they're like set for work. They'll get skills, they'll get discipline. They're thought of, I think, quite highly, and of course they pay their taxes, so they contribute to the local economy.
What is the feather? How has it been gussied up?
Okay, so it's kind of being used as a recruitment opportunity for the mercenaries, in that they are having a bunch of like party games that are slightly violent. So you know the one where like you get, and I've only ever seen this done with tiny children, which is terrifying, but you make them like sit on a pole and they hold pillows and they bash each other with the pillows.
Oh, yeah, like American Gladiator style, yeah.
Exactly. Okay, all right. These kind of things, or maybe they have to stand on a pole and hit each other with fighting sticks, or they're like running at each other jousting, or on tiny little bikes jousting, whatever it is.
Tiny little goats.
Tiny little goats. That would have been so good, Heather. Yes, I'll have that. Tiny goat jousting. And they're all kind of like mildly competitive, and the one of the commanding officers is watching over. And they're mostly games aimed at kids, right? So it's for the next generation of apprentices in terms of who's going to come in. But it's also really good fun because kids love smacking each other over the head with things.
Excellent. So that covers both the feather and bash. Thank you. I'm so glad that we have America's military streaming on Twitch in this world as well.
Alrighty.
Up next is Andy for the miners. Andy.
Okay. A 4 of diamonds.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
The lead is slipping.
Okay.
So you're going to want a financial purpose for these children.
Yeah, how do the kids make money? Allowances.
You could go Oliver Twist, a little pickpocketing.
Blackmail for one.
Yeah, they do have all these secrets.
That's true.
Mail. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they sell secrets out of this building over here.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. So yeah, this is the town would know that this is a what used to be the elementary school that burned down during the Great
I was
Fire.
going to say it's like a crater.
Yeah, it's what used to be the elementary school. It's kind of a smudge now on the ground. However, the kids of the town have kind of set up a black market secrets selling ring out of this place, and so yeah, that's what the town knows about it. For decoration, the teens are leaning really hard into the macabre of this place, and they've actually started a few more fires, like some bonfires in the area, and everyone's put on makeup that looks like burned, and they're wearing like tattered clothes. And on the final night of the festival, they're going to actually hold a very macabre prom. They all role play like we're the kids that died in this place. And we never got a prom.
Oh my god!
And they're like super into that role play of it, and most other people are staying clear because that's horrific. And that's what's happening here tonight.
That is fantastic. I'm glad we've got Ghost Prom.
Yeah.
All right, up next is Sarah playing the merchants.
Raw. Imagine. I got the wrong button thing.
Imagine.
6 of spades.
6 of spades.
Okay,
Merchants
so-
on the board. So this is something that has been that served a past purpose and is now being updated for this festival.
Isn't it clubs, not spades?
Oh, is it clubs?
Oh, it is
it
club,
clubs or
isn't it?
Oh, so it is something actually that is entirely new, the opposite of that. Something that was created for this festival.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm gonna pick this little building here next to the goat church.
Oh, yeah, all right.
So this is the merch tent for the party. Where so like I imagine in the church, like the little areas near it, they do have some religious paraphernalia that you can buy. But basically the tent undercuts them and sells inferior versions of the same stuff, but for like 20% less.
Yeah.
Word on the street is, the quality isn't great, but like if you've wanted that goat rosary for a while and haven't been able to afford the real one, you can get one made out of like reused garbage. It
Makes
looks
sense.
like
Goats love garbage.
yeah. It looks like a tent, like it's just like a white tent. Definitely looks like it was just put up like real quick.
Mhm.
And it is specifically for the party, so that's what it is merch.
Nice. Thank you. Up next, we have Tyler. Tyler of the Clerics. Tyler, would you draw us a card?
Sure. I got the Ace of Diamonds.
All right. So you get 1 point, and you need to find something that serves a financial purpose for the clerics.
Sure. So this is yet another splinter religious sect
Yes.
down here. This is a very heavy church. This is the Church of the Flaming Fellowship, the guy that started the fire.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
yeah, and they are the clerical order's kind of worst kept secret. They are the enforcers and extortionists for the order. So if anyone needs to pay their tithes or need to pay tax to the various churches for whatever reason, they will go out and collect that. And because they do that, they're allowed to exist. But everyone from the fanatical worshippers this place for good reason.
What's it called again? The Church of the what?
Church of the Flaming Feather.
Okay.
So, what is the general vibe of the townspeople? How do they feel about the Church of the Flaming Feather?
Sure. So if you are not a religious fanatic, you are definitely still searching for this guy that started the fire. But so yeah, general vibes. We'd like to burn it down, but like that. So yeah.
How is it gussied up for the festival?
So for the festival, have a lot of like impromptu saunas. So we're burning some water, and then we have some goat effigies that are just on fire on these like little mini cakes,
like you do,
and they're having a little goat barbecue if people want to come by for their function at.
That is great. That is excellent that they have set up a goat barbecue for this festival celebrating goats. Very good. So up next is Heather for the farmers.
Okay. One. Oh, well, it didn't come out. King of
There we
Hearts.
go. All right, King of Hearts. So you get 0 points, but you need a social building, and then you're also going to give us an NPC connected to that building.
Wow. Okay. Social building. I am going to pick. Oh, okay. I'm going to go with this one. And I have no idea. This is coming right off the top of my head. This is the Farmers Hotel. So
now, quick question: is the hotel for farmers only then?
Nope. It's run by farmers.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably only used by farmers because their people are welcome to bring their animals along with them, and so non-farmers probably don't like that too much. But it's a social gathering because it's like the kind of pub tavern on the bottom where they can play cards, and it's not like the animal gathering place up top, but it's more play a little pool, play a little cards, do a little gambling, that sort of thing. And they have okay, so the word on the street is that if you don't want to sleep in some straw, don't go there.
Okay.
But the pub can be kind of fun because the drinks are really cheap.
All right.
And for the festival, they haven't really decorated a whole lot, but they have made sure that they handed out all kinds of flyers advertising that they were giving out free samples of their specialty of the house, which is their goat's milk cocktail.
Oof.
And
That's delicious.
Some gross
Yeah. Oh,
variation of a
God.
white Russian.
And yeah, I mean that could be it.
Well, it's not a white Russian, it's a black Phillip.
Oh, nice.
um, and they're only giving out little teeny samples because it will knock your socks off, and therefore they have a lot of people coming back around for multiples, and then they tell them to go get on the bucking bronco.
Oh, all right. So give us an NPC connected with this place, either someone working there, someone attending it.
I think the NPC is going to be the guy that usually runs the hotel, him and his wife. But I'm just one of them. I'll do her. She is going to be Penelope.
Okay.
And she is a very, very tall woman, rather severe looking, hair pulled back, kind of gray, and in this really strict bun, always very looking uptight. But if you ever see her when she's not working, she is the biggest party animal around. So
Nice.
she is handing out drinks and drinking drinks and handing out drinks and drinking drinks. And she is the life of.
So what is what's the word on the street about her? You know, either what is she usually known for, or like what are people saying tonight when they see her like pounding them back?
Actually both. She's usually known for being really uptight. But tonight they're saying, man, if you want to get into a drinking contest, you should see her go. It's amazing.
Fantastic. I like it. Penelope. Up next is Adam with the cultists. This is a important pull. See if you can pull ahead.
Oh boy, I got the 10 of clubs.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
this is anyone's game.
oh man.
So you are looking for something that has been created. This is clubs, so it has been created for this festival. Something that was established for this festival.
So right next to the Church of the Flaming Feather is this little building here.
Okay.
And that is the building where the fire blight cultists have created a summoning circle for fire elementals to break through from the fire elemental plane and spread chaos and fire and death in the midst of all the fireworks explosions. Yeah, that's for the party.
What do people say about this place?
Well, it is, it is, how like sometimes churches, I guess this was the church I had growing up, that had this little like separate kind of like building where like it was the kind of the youth group hangout. So this is like seen as the youth group hangout for the youth group of the Church of the Flame
Of the
Feather.
Arsonist Church, yeah.
The Arsonist Church. And the miners, the youth group of that church, have been very welcoming of the Fireblight cultists there. But they've been telling people that these are just, visiting youth group leaders who are here to kind of guide them through devotionals about how like not to be like of the Kenku world, be outside of the Kenku world and stuff. And so people are like, okay, because maybe they'll help the arsonists, those arsonist kids.
So how are they participating in the festival? Are they doing like a youth group function? Are they giving out snacks?
Yeah, there's one Fireblight cultist who's kind of in charge of like, okay, you distract the kids. The rest of us are going to be summoning fire elementals and kind of to be doing like the nefarious stuff. So yeah, and the person in charge of that has basically just set up a beer pong table
For the kids.
Hangout for the kids. And is kind of plying them with alcohol, so that they are too out of it to like be able to like confess any like to tell people like, hey, the town's in danger. And if any of the kids try to escape or get out, like that's not going to happen. So.
Well, it's a good thing alcohol isn't flammable or anything like that. Up next is Emma for the entertainers.
Okay. So Queen of Spades.
All right. So you are looking for something that served a past purpose and is being repurposed by the entertainers.
Okay.
You will also create an NPC connected to this.
Okay. I'm going to take this building here.
Okay.
And this used to be a big sort of shopping centre until it got burnt and flooded. And it's been right in the centre of town, really good location, still pretty gutted because the new occupants haven't actually bothered to do anything about that. So on the inside, it's sort of falling to bits. On the outside, this building is painted completely white, and the door is a big red mouth.
Ooh.
And this is Clown Lounge.
Oh.
And it is, and the word on the street is, it's in terms of the adults, is this place is creepy as. And the word on the street from the kids is nobody wants to be seen dead in there, but everybody has to pretend that they really want to go. So all the adults pretend that it's really awesome because they think the kids love it, and the kids pretend it's really awesome because their parents think that they really love it, and nobody wants to disappoint anybody else. So everybody goes, but everybody hates it. So you go in through this big mouth into Clown Lounge, and it's daft. It's absolutely falling to bits. There's bits falling off the ceiling, and there's been some sort of token redecoration. But it's essentially like a sort of display all about clowns. So it's like some really hideous clown museum, which is dull. For the party, they have decided it's a bit more like have your photo taken with Santa. So it's have your photo taken with the clown. And the clown is it will be the NPC, but the whole place is staffed by teenagers who need a bit of cash and are either drunk or high on drugs or totally disinterested, who've got like really dodgy face paint, who've like slunk into work and are going, here is the display on the history of clowning from 1821. Come.
So,
and then so you get taken through. You get
less of
taken
an
through.
insane clown posse and more of a disinterested clown posse.
Totally disinterested. They all smell of weed. They're just totally, seriously, this is grim. Like the elves in the grotto. And you get taken through this sort of falling down building to where there's this clown with like terrible white face paint and like big black eyes and a green wig sitting there, and you get to sit next to the clown and have your photograph taken by some kid with an old school Polaroid camera as your souvenir from the festival, and essentially there's just photographs of terrified looking children and screaming babies that you can then put on your fridge as a souvenir from the festival, because it's hideous. And the NPC is the clown, and his name is Firebolt, and he sees himself as like he used to be the top clown in Alderland. He was amazing. He's totally past his prime. He should have retired like 30 years ago. And he cannot believe that his career has sunk to the depths of sitting in an abandoned, burnt out shopping centre having photographs with kids who don't want to be there. And he's just absolutely depressed, and so is drinking beer out of a water bottle and goes off every 10 minutes for a cigarette break. He's hideous.
And so
Wow.
what is the word on the street about him? How do people feel about Firebolt specifically?
Everybody hates him. Everybody steers well clear. So if you see him walking down the street, you'd cross the road to avoid him. The only time anybody comes within speaking distance of Firebolt is at a festival in this scenario where you have to go and have your photograph taken with him as a souvenir, because everybody loves clowns.
Fantastic.
Wow.
So very cheery game that we continue to have here. There's one more turn, and wow, it's gonna be tight. So we have in last place, we have the farmers and the entertainers are tied with 5 points. In second to last are the merchants with 6. Next up, we have the miners, the ground kind, tied with the cleric. Both of them have 8. In third place, we have the miners, the teen kind, at 19 points. Next are the cultists with 22 points. And in the lead are the soldiers with 23 points. So these, specifically for the soldiers, the cultists, and the miners, it really is anyone's game. So I will go ahead and take my final turn and draw a card. And I am looking at 2 of clubs. So my final will be 10. It's all right. I'm not heartbroken at all. Or it's fine. I didn't design this game or anything. And so I am going to go ahead and something that was created for this festival by the miners is this little like tower thing over here. And I think it's actually it's not coming up out of the ground. That like black bit in the center of it is going down into the ground. So I'm gonna say that this is like a well that the miners are like sending people down into the well on buckets, and at the bottom is like there's more of that that glowing rock. And basically they're lowering people down into like this really beautiful like art installation type room full of these colorful stones. So the townspeople are impressed. They didn't know that this was like something. They thought it's like we just thought that was another well. And they're like, no. You know, this is actually a party room. The feather of it is that it is all glowing inside, and they've started this trolley system, and the festival is once you are down there, like they ask people to be like completely silent, and it's far enough down that it's this like really cool meditative space where you can't hear anything of the festival above, and so it's kind of like a chill out zone that the miners have made for people. Up next is Debbie with the soldiers. A big pull coming up.
Right, no pressure. Hot darn. It's a 2.
Oh, it's a 2.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
25 total. Okay, well, look.
So you're
it's
going to
fine.
need a social building here.
Oh my gosh, okay. What do soldiers like to do? A gym. Yeah. But I'm going to put it like up on one of the cliffs, and they have to climb the cliff to get to it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, right? You can tell that I don't go to the gym because I'm like, yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Because of all the cliffs.
Yeah. Climb this cliff, and then go for a run, and then climb back down. Yeah.
Okay, so
So,
in the top right there.
yeah. So the word on the street. This is a really nice gym, and it has not only all of the normal. I'm going to give myself away as a not gym person. All of the equipment, the heavy things that you pick up and put down, and the treadmills and
Both of those
things.
are accurate.
Yes. It's also got a swimming pool for swimming in, and like a sauna, and like some hot tubs and ice baths for chilling out after your workout.
What's the word on the street about it? How do people feel about this place?
That it's really nice, like really good facilities, very, what's the word? Like everybody wishes they could go there, but it's a real hassle to get. Yeah, exclusive. Thanks, Tyler. But it's a real hassle to get to because you got to climb the cliffs.
How have they redecorated for the festival?
Okay, so they have gone into a little partnership with the miners, the underground kind, not the kids. They're the worst. And borrowed some of their glowy rock, and they've put it like at the bottom of the swimming pool. So it's like glow in the dark swimming pool and hot tubs. And they have opened up for the party the swimming pools and the hot tub. So if you want to do a few laps in the dark or hang out or go to a hot tub, then you can get there. And they have also, in their benevolence, put in like a pulley rig system, so you can sit in a little like bucket with a goat's like a cardboard goat's head on, and get winched up by the soldiers, so you don't have to climb the cliffs for this like one time. So you can go and have a nice swim and go and do a sauna without having to climb a hecking cliff.
Excellent. Very good. Up next are the miners. So we are looking for a 6 or more if you would like to tie or surpass the soldiers.
Okay, I drew a 6.
Oh,
That's a 6 of hearts.
All right. The miners, you are up to 25 and you need a social building.
Okay, social. Okay. So there's a tiny little kind of tent area up here, with a big key painted on the side. And this is a building called the Key to Your Mind. And they sell glass pipes, for decoration and stuff.
Or like maybe tobacco.
Maybe tobacco, but like in the back, they're selling whoopsie berries. Okay? Whoopsie berries are these little berries that just kind of make you just kind of chill out and go wild places with your mind, man. All right? They're just, yeah, they're cool. Everyone's cool. Just chill out. Don't got to be a narc about it. So that's the building. Most everyone knows that this place kind of sells whoopsie berries, but they're not going to make a big deal out of it unless there becomes kind of an epidemic. And you know what? The kids have really started to kind of take a shine to this place. So maybe this is going to be bad. Maybe in the future, not so good. But that's its social function and kind of what the town thinks of it. To sort of dress this place up, everyone started wearing goat horns. Like they're like little fake tiaras with goat horns on the top of them. And for the bash, this is a staging area for the parade that's going to go all the way around the quarry here. and you're just going to start here. You're going to kind of make your parade with your cart and your donkey, and then tonight we'll head out, going all over the place. And the most prominent float so far being built today is a pretty simple one. It's got a lot of greens and blues in it, and it says, "Hubert was a druid. Change my mind." And then that's going to lead the parade all the way around.
Fantastic. Thank you. Oh, man. So the pressure is really on the cultists now to see if they'll be able to beat out either the soldiers or miners. Or we might wind up with a collaborative final ceremony here. Up next is Sarah, the Merchants. If you would like to draw your final card.
Ooh. You've had so many NPCs.
Jack of Hearts.
All right.
I almost got a quad 0. Darn that 6.
Almost. So you are going to want a social building for the merchants, and you are going to want to create an NPC to go along with it. We've picked it over pretty well, but there's some interesting structures still left.
Yeah, I think we're gonna put this over here. This is a. No, they don't necessarily have the internet in this town and world, so
Hey,
they
we haven't
to...
decided that.
I said
this is your chance. Andy has already said this is canon, so if you would like to canonically add the internet to Fates of Writ.
No internet. This is a merchant-specific dating club. So it's like the real-life equivalent of farmersonly.com. It's merchantsonly.com, the building.
Okay, yeah.
And the word on the street is that it's real skeezy. It does not have a good reputation. They think that unspeakable things go down there, but the reality of it is it's just a place to meet people who share similar interests, such as buying and selling goods. What does it look like for the party? So I think that they don't like that people have a bad idea of its reputation as like a denizen lounge. So they're actually going to like have the doors open and like, it's decorated with just regular party stuff, balloons, streamers, goat things. And they're going to allow people to come in and see and like read the rules and stuff and like, possibly sign up to join the Merchants Guild and, therefore be able to date merchants, I guess.
Yeah, you get a membership for like tax purposes and also a new dating pool.
Exactly.
So what is your NPC associated with this place?
Oh my God, I forgot I had one. Okay, so he is I keep making dudes, but he's like the pickup artist. Like he's like one of those people. So he runs the place.
Of course he would be a merchant.
Going around just trying to like sell everyone dating tips. He's like, hey, I saw you struck out over there. You want a pamphlet with some pickup lines? Like real just
wow.
Don't trust him. He's definitely like used car salesman, but it's like used dating tip salesman. But we're just gonna keep going with the real sad NPCs. So like everyone just feels bad for him. So like they'll like be like, okay, thanks, and like take the pamphlets and be like, okay. But he basically looks like the pickup artist guy. So like a top hat, let's say like maybe somewhat like Clockwork Orange looking for some reason, but a bird.
Great. And how is he participating in the festival?
So he is giving a lecture series, which again just speaks to how he has no ability to, flirt with anyone. So he decided that he's going to put up some flyers, and the lecture series is going to take place kind of out on the outskirts of town, because in his mind it's like, oh, it'll be secluded. People can make out because of my amazing speeches that are going to inspire them to love more and differently. But really, probably no one's going to go because it just doesn't sound like a good time.
I think it sounds like a great time. So thank you for merchants only. Up next is Tyler of the Clerics. Will you draw your last card?
Certainly. I got the 8 of clubs.
Ah, all right. So this is something that was built for the festival.
Got it. Alrighty. So this is, gotta get the tool. There we go. So over here, on this little cliffside, a large, building-sized matchbox has constructed. But by the Matchbox Collective, for the purpose of educating on fire safety, since it was believed that it was a match that started it all.
Whoa! What an unlikely culprit.
It's debated, but that's what some people go with. So people around town think it's the bad. They mostly think that it was probably the town wizards that just kind of one day. A match is a little mundane, so like try a little harder is the go-to for people around town. It looks like a giant matchbox. Inside there's just large logs across the side of it to these are matches that they kind of have to have as people walk in. And for everyone single match, and after they secture, they are to go and at midnight everybody lights their match together and then blows it out very safely so that nothing burns down. It's like you have power in your hands, and you're responsible. Giant matchbox.
That is absolutely delightful. They're just like everyone else is partying, and they're like, "Hey, come and light a match with us," and then safely put it out. Up next, we have Heather with the Farmers. If you want to draw your last card. Also, I believe you received some helpful goat merch live on stream.
I did.
Oh, I missed that.
I got the sweatshirt. I've been wanting the sweatshirt forever. Finally got it.
Ooh, that looks nice.
And I also got the goats and stoats shirt. I'm really excited.
Oh my god.
So, all right. I got the 7 of spades.
All right.
So, okay. I've got a good one.
So you're finding something that served a past purpose.
Yeah. I'm going to take, I think I can't draw a square. I'm going to do a freehand. And I'm going to take this set of things right here. And this was the past purpose of this was drop off for the farmer's market, where they'd all bring in their supplies and then they'd just take them to the farmer's market to sell. The purpose today is they have wagons in that they first, people of the town don't really care much about it. They don't.
Okay.
It's just a drop off. It's like the loading dock, right? Who thinks about the loading dock? And then the way they've dressed it for the parties, they've brought these wagons in and they've decorated them all with like lights and like on all the wheels, and they're like horse-drawn carriages or horse-drawn wagons, and it's going to be like hay rides. And except at night they're going to take people that want to go all around the town and through the buildings to see the various lights and sights, and that's their pick up and drop off spot. And yeah, the lights are their major decoration.
That is delightful. I like that.
I had some cheer.
Yeah, in the midst of all this like depressing House of Mirror, like magical bong encrusted jewel eyeglasses, we also just kind of have like, hey, this can be nice too.
Yeah, we could drive past the House of Mirrors where your parents went in and will never come out.
Yeah,
we could drive
exactly.
past the place where Granny broke her hip.
Yeah. And then we can, pick Granny up some higgledy berries or whatever for
or some goat's milk.
Yep, higgledy berries.
Goat's milk shots.
So, Adam, this is a very big pool, potentially deciding the end of the game. You need to draw your final card for the cultists.
Right. What do I need it to be?
You need a 3 or more.
All right, here it goes. Ooh, yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
7 of diamonds.
Oh, no. This is real.
All right. Well, things are about to get real. But there are 2 more buildings to go. So Adam, you got a diamond, so a financial purpose for these Fireblight cultists.
So I think that financial purpose, they already have the bank.
Are they making money while they're in the city, or are they getting money from out of the city? Like, it could be that the cult is funneling something in through something else. Could be like a money laundering type situation.
Well, yeah, they don't really care about money, I don't think. They really just want to see the world burn. So, but
they could just have a money furnace where they literally burn money.
Oh my gosh.
There are a couple of the cultists who seem to be kind of on a side mission in town. And while none of the other cultists in the bank really care about the money or anything, because they just expect like everything's going to burn, there are a couple of cultists here who seem to know a bit more and have been sneaking money out of the bank vaults into the building next to the bank. Yeah. And they're saving up. They are trying to.
They'll never look here.
They would never think to check next door.
So completely.
They're saving up, and they've been sticking it out because honestly, these aren't quite Fireblight cultists. They are kind of in disguise as Fireblight cultists. If the real cultists like saw these people like sneaking out money, they'd be like, "Why are you caring about the money, brother? We're here to just watch everything burn." But these two, they are. This is so stupid. They are saving up. They're trying to get out $1 million so that they can buy the gem, the diamond encrusted monocle. Because they have tried like stealing, they've tried intimidating this person in the tent. Who is it? The monocle guy? Like,
yeah, just the monocle guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
They've been trying all kinds of ways to try to just get this monocle. Because they happen to know that it is a very powerful magical item. And if they can't get it, and if they can't get enough money to pay for it, then definitely the Fireblight's going to have to level this town so that they can so that they can get this magical monocle. Does that line up, Andy, with kind of the anything at all with what's happening in Fates of Ran?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, classic fire monocle stuff.
Yeah.
So I think you've covered like what the other cultist members say. You've covered so what is this building next door usually? Like what's the front for it? Have they decorated it for the festival or anything? Or are they just trying to like, make it look like a little residential unit?
So it is actually so it's the one right next to it with a little circle here. That's what I meant to select. And it is actually like a little kind of public square kind of like stage.
Okay.
And they've been sneaking money like to the like underneath stage, I guess. Like, but the stage is kind of where the big party speeches would be given, like on the night of the bash, like any kind of like big presentations, and and so one of these two cultists is also kind of has decorated that and is planning a big speech for when all of the fire stuff happens. And the speech is something, it is essentially the speech delivered by the one, like the bad guy in Diefield, the one that's like, be blessed, right? Does that work, Andy?
Of course.
Like he's gonna like herald in the attack of all the fire elementals and stuff, but the money is underneath there, and if they can buy the monocle, then maybe they'll just have a good party and not level the city. But they can't really control all the cultists, so it's a wild card here.
I'm glad we went from the building next door, they'll never find it, to the stage next door, they'll never find it outdoors underneath the stage.
It's like a little, it's under like a trap door. Like it's, I can see under there.
So next we have Emma. Final turn for the entertainers, if you would draw for us.
Okay. Queen of Clubs.
All right. So you are giving us something again that the entertainers built for this festival, which tracks, and an NPC connected to that.
Okay. I am gonna put it here.
Oh.
What's becoming the entertainment district. So this is so the word on the street is that this is a super cool place to go. It's been built specially for the festival. It's absolutely epic and everybody wants to go there. There's a queue round the block. It kind of crashes into the very orderly queue that's going into the Steal Your Dagger as a once in a lifetime opportunity. The people on the back of that queue end up in here. It looks different to every person who looks at it, which makes for some challenging reviews. So some people will go, oh, you have to go to the House of Cards, and other people can't find the House of Cards because it doesn't look like a House of Cards to them. It looks like a top hat. So the reviews are difficult because it looks completely different depending on who's looking at it. And it's been built for the party by the magicians. And there are magic tricks that you can be involved with. And there are three main magical tricks that you can get involved with in this building. You can choose to get cut in half by a magician or by your friends, so you don't have to you can actually be a magician. So you can cut your friend in half. You can be vanished into a fiery pit, which is obviously harking back to the fire that took over the town.
Very tasteful.
Or you can you can escape from a tank filled with water, which obviously is the water that saved the town. So that you can choose to be tied up in ropes and sacks, and then have to escape from the tank of water. So those are your festival fun options in the Magic House. It's called Top Hat. Occasionally it looks like a top hat, but sometimes it doesn't. And it is run by a Kenku called Henry Howdunhee.
Oh God, I love that.
That's very good.
Mhm.
So Henry Howdunhee is the most shiny raven of all the raven folk. But again, his feathers look a slightly different color. So he's one of those sort of iridescent things. So if you look at it in the right light, maybe he's blue. But if you look at it in a slightly different light, maybe he's green or purple. And he is like highly polished. So his beak is like a mirror. It's very reflective, and he wears a small top hat, slightly at an angle. And he's actually, as far as NPCs go, he's quite happy and excited, but doesn't have a great deal of control. Oh, he's the only magician in the magician's tent that has any kind of ability and hasn't done any of these 3 tricks before. He's just read about them in a book. So people get to figure it out themselves.
And then what is the reputation for Henry Howdunhee? Is he famous? Is he unknown?
Yeah, no, Henry Howdunhee is a very famous magician who started off as a children's party entertainer and then climbed his way to the very top of the profession and has toured the land as a magician, but basically used to specialize in sort of close table magic and card tricks and things like this. He's never done any. He used to do all the big events and parties. He's never done any chopping people in pieces. He's never done any sort of escapology or anything like that, but he has read about it and that it's a very popular kind of magic. So that's what he's gone for the festival as a big draw.
Fantastic. I love it. We are at the end of that portion of the game, and the final scores are wiping the rear. We have the entertainers at 5. Up next, the merchants at 6, followed by the clerics at 8, followed by the miners, the digging kind, at 10, followed by the farmers, picking up some ground at the end at 20. Next, we have tied the soldiers and the miners, the kids, at 25, but the winners are the Fire Blight cultists. And so what that means is, but let's not forget, so the order of operations for this, because Sarah and Tyler both have a say in this as well. Adam, you are going to tell us what the end of the festival looks like. You can coordinate this however you want, whether Hubert, the helpful goat, is involved or not. But you get to decide how the festival ends. And then Sarah, you get to put a twist on it. It doesn't necessarily need to be a twist coming from the miner or coming from the merchants. It can be if you want, but you can just say, you can give an and or a but to what Adam says. And then Tyler, you can add an and or a but to what Sarah says. Did that all check out? Cool, cool, cool. All right, Adam, what have you got for us?
So, I mean, the bash has been so much fun. People have been going on minecart rides and dirt pile sled rides. People have been getting cool items from the soldiers' vault and kind of showing them off to each other, having a great time. The kids are all making out at where the water tower used to be. And what else is going on? The merch tent is selling all the inferior versions of the goat masks and stuff. Anyway, yes, all this great stuff. The water tower slide. Anyway, it's so much fun. It's a great party. Everything's great. And then the Fireblight cultists, the two that were undercover trying to like save up enough money, they have been hiding under the stage, counting how much money that they were able to get from the bank, and it's unfortunately they only have $999,000, $999. So they cannot afford the monocle, unfortunately. So they look at each other and they exchange a meaningful look, like, okay, here goes. And they get up from under the stage. The one kind of goes and runs across town to make out point to make sure that the kids have all their fireworks. They get one of the other cultists to run to the youth hangout spot, to do the summoning circle to summon the fire elementals. And kind of the leader of the two undercover ones, stands up on the stage, and yeah, and like and kind of gets the attention of everybody who's kind of in this area here, and gives and in a loud bellowing voice says, have we named? Oh yeah, citizens of Bird Town, you've been enjoying your bash. Now enjoy the lash of flames yet again. But know that you are heralding in a new world and the entrance of a beautiful god into our plane. And he kind of gives a little motion of his hand that is supposed to serve as a signal to the cultists kind of elsewhere in the town to initiate planned death and destruction on Bird Town. Fire off the fireworks, summon the fire elementals. This is the way, the only way we can get the monocle, because we only have, we're $1 short.
All right. So I'm going to cut you off there and throw to Sarah. Does this go as planned, or does something get in the way?
So they start lighting off the fire from different places in the city, and the merchants had a little scam cooked up to sell more. They like just ordered way too many Hubert shirts, and they figured like, well, if we can kind of like invent another event, we could maybe sell some more shirts for like in memory of this new event. So I was under the impression that Hubert had died trying to save the town, and so merchants had a taxidermied goat that they had strung from there on a zip line from where the water tower originally stood to where the pieces are now. And it was going to arrive and float across. However, with all the fireworks, all the fire, the goat catches on fire on its way, and it's dropping flames onto the town. The goat ends up near the water tower. It's a big ball of fire.
Jesus.
All right. So,
no.
Tyler, do you have anything to add to this? What is the fallout of this goat football?
Yeah. So shouting from their Matchbox collective are all shouting like, "We saw this coming. Warned you." As the city is to the ground, there's an cleric, and they leave having made their decision.
Can you get closer to your router or something? Because you're cutting out. We want to hear you, and you keep cutting out. How close are you to your router?
I'll try to get on my mobile hotspot. That might actually be a little better right now. So go out and then come back in. Is that okay?
Because
I want to hear this
moment.
This is the big moment.
Sure.
So while Tyler reconnects that, I will go ahead and just remind folks that this is Beak, Feather, and Bash. It is a hack of Beak, Feather, and Bone, a map labeling RPG. You can find links to get it as well as the free SRD for this at possibleworldsgames.com. I am also currently running a Kickstarter for my next series of 6 games that are all short, simple, newcomer-friendly games like this one. And you can also find links to that on possibleworldsgames.com or by going to ttrpg.link/pw. But more than anything, this is a game that is that I designed because I hate doing GM prep. And as you can see, at the end of this game, we have all created a map together of a city that just has a lot of very interesting factions and buildings and characters at play. So it is my biggest goal with this game is to democratize the kind of prep that goes into GMing games, because it can be a lot of work, and also to encourage people to collaboratively create settings together and to feel agency over being able to contribute in this as well.
Yeah, it's great. We collaboratively built this town, and now I'm going to burn it
to the ground.
Yeah, now it's got very
Nailed
clear.
it.
I was gonna say this is easy to put in canon for our world
because it doesn't exist anymore. Tyler, can you give us a 1-2?
1-2, is this better?
Yeah, you sound
Much
great.
better.
So
Fantastic.
yeah.
Great. So I'll just go back to the beginning in case it was all choppy to hell. So as the fire elementals and the bombardment of flames kicks off, our Matchbox Collective clerics are just shouting like, "We told you so," just over and over. Just they're higher up, so they're safer. And while that's all happening, the rest of the clerical orders have met to kind of decide what to do. And by the time they're done deliberating, they leave, and then they see the taxidermied goat, in flames over their heads, and they go back inside, rethink things. They come back out. And by now, everything it's less buildings and more ash at this point. And they just very cautiously, nervously approach the head of the cultists. And so, hi, we are the clerical orders of what was once Bird Town. We understand that you are a cult. How do you feel about organized religion? So yeah,
That is such a fantastic. I love that. Now this is figuring into basically just like the story of this game is how the Fireblight cultists got maybe slightly more organized.
Well, so I would say that the guy who's been giving this speech kind of looks down and is like, organized religion. Do people pay you tithes?
Yes.
If that's the case, do you have like $1 that I could borrow?
They all kind of like pat their pockets down, come up with some loose change between all of them. That's just over $1.
Okay, yeah. So I think that this is I don't know if this really works for canon, but this guy, he's like, oh, we got the money. So he gives another wave of the hand to kind of call it off, and so like all the fire elementals that were just about to like start attacking, kind of like, oh, what? Oh, I was all ready to be a fire elemental in this plane of reality. But they all like begrudgingly kind of like, oh dang. Do you want to go play Xbox? Sure. And so they do that, and the fireworks are all hastily collected. The remaining fireworks are collected from the makeout point, and yeah, the he'll go and he'll buy that monocle. because he needs that for completely not nefarious purposes at all.
Fantastic.
And Birdtown will live to see another day.
Yeah. And everyone makes out on Makeout Point, and in the Tunnel of Love, and in all of the various other places that we have. And it's all it is a festival to remember, as wide swaths of the city have been reduced to ash.
I do want to say that when he was buying the monocle, he's like, yeah, this, I never thought about it, but yeah, this works a lot better this way. Just kind of like, okay, now I have the item that I wanted. Wait, what's your name, by the way? And the monocle guy is like, me? My name is Trim the Sails, Mrs. Hislop.
Oh,
And that's it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all so much for playing with us. Thank you to everyone who has watched with us. This was an absolute blast, and yeah, there is no gift that a game designer can ask for than better gift than such a game and creative group of players. So thank you so much for letting me celebrate this giant birthday trifecta with the Helpful Goat community.
No, thank you so much. That was awesome. I had so much fun.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Total
So
blast.
much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for playing.
Yeah, I don't know if we have a ghost with us or anything.
I believe. Yeah.
Oh, we do. There's a ghost here. So I will go ahead and pass the torch to Andy to take care of any final things.
Torches.
Oh no.
I will pass the
No more
flaming
fire.
taxidermied goat over to Andy.
I will take my candle on this game and blow it out. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us, everyone. Oh my gosh, Tyler's been awesome. Everyone playing has been awesome. If you want to get in on games like this, you can join our Discord. Type !Discord in the chat, and that'll give you a link to help join us. We do lots of things on here. We play games, we talk about things, we have fun, we help each other out. It's a really awesome little community, and and we're just really happy to get to share this with you. So thanks for being here with us, and we got to do this sort of stuff more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a bunch more games if you want to do some more collaborative world building, but there's a
100%.
ton of like little games like this that it's so much fun to make a world with others.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and we're very much about that sort of
Sorry
thing.
you didn't win, Debbie.
Yeah.
You will be sorry the next time we play Code Words.
Okay.
My face hurts from smiling. I've had such a good time. I don't think I can smile anymore.
Me too.
That's lovely. All right. Well, thanks everyone for playing. Thanks for everyone for watching. We're gonna see you later. Love you. Hang out in there, and bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.